wouldn't say never because I don't know in the future, and I never thought I'd make an ASMR channel, really. But considering how long it takes to make ASMR videos, I would have to say no, not right now, and probably not for a while at least, because I really like making the ASMR videos, but I would like to do a gaming video at some point, so not a channel, but maybe a few videos. Okay. If you could pick one fictional character to be your roommate, who would it be? That's a really good question. I would probably choose... I'll change my answer probably, like, if I read that in about 10 minutes, I'd probably choose a different person. But for right now, I would probably choose... This is so random, but I'd probably choose Dandelion from The Witcher, because he's a lot of fun and he plays the lute, which is really cool, and we'd go on really cool adventures as well. So right now I would choose Dandelion. There are really cool characters out there, but if you think in terms of a roommate, you'd want somebody really chill and quite fun and you can have a laugh with. So I'd pick Dandelion. On to the next question. What was the last movie, TV show, or game you saw that made you go, I have to cosplay that character? It was, in terms of game, it was Lady Dimitrescu, because she was just so iconic, and I sort of knew quite a lot of people would jump on that one, and I just really wanted to be part of it because I thought it was really cool. And she is quite classy, so I really enjoyed close to 2.5 hours, I think, because I had to glue my eyebrows, and you have to layer them until they're seamlessly gone. So actually maybe it took less than that, because I've done that cosplay before, so I'm quite quick at doing that now. But I have to glue my eyebrows because my eyebrows are naturally very straight and hers are like massive arches, so it was quite the transformation, that one. And also the wig too, I styled the wig, and I had to layer powder on my face to give that white porcelain look, and that takes quite a long time as well. And just doing eyeshadow sometimes can take quite a while. And then also the comic details that she has took quite a while. And then to set up everything, so if I'm making a set and it's quite extravagant, that can take half a day. It can actually take half a day. So what I normally do is I'll make the set the day before, and I will leave it up overnight or however long until I film, and then the next day when I film it's all ready for me, and it gives me some time to chop and change what I want to add to the set. And then the next day I will ready my costume and everything, get my costume out ready to film, and then I will do the makeup and sit for however many hours it takes to do the makeup. I'll do the wig. Sometimes I will style, cut, colour the wig, so that could take quite a while, but I'll do that the day before and just style it on the day. And then I finally sit down and film. So it takes 2 days to do everything. Next question. Do you hope to get famous one day? And the quick answer to that is no. I would rather be unknown but successful than famous. I'd like to be successful and be good at what I do and take pride in what I do, but I'm not that. I don't think I'd be that bothered about being famous, because so many people know your business, and to have people follow me around if I'm going to get a coffee in joggers or something it would really annoy me. So I don't think I'd want people looking into my life every second of the day, because that would be quite stressful, and I don't always want to look presentable sometimes. Quite often actually I will have my hair up messy, sweatpants, just a t-shirt, and just chill and play games, and I'd rather live in peace, not having loads of people know every move I make. So no, I wouldn't like to be famous. It's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of people that are counting on you and things like that, and you can't really say too much, and you can't put a foot wrong. You know, we're all human, we all make mistakes, but it's a lot of eyes looking at you, and I don't know, I wouldn't want people following me around and things, so I'd rather not. What inspired you to do ASMR and cosplay? Well, cosplay came first. I have been cosplaying for technically about 9 watch these amazing superhero films or whatever it was, and I would think, oh, that's awesome, I want to do that, I want to look like them. And I have done ever since, tried to look like them. What inspired me to do ASMR was I've watched it for years and years, and I thought in lockdown I would give it a try because I had quite a lot of time on my hands and I just really wanted to do something that might help people as it's helped me. And I thought it would be cool and a fun excuse to show my costumes and things that I've been making over the years, and or that I've bought, or props and things as well. And I love making the sets, and it was nice to have an excuse and get more use out of making them rather than just for a photo. What takes longer, the cosplay or writing, shooting or editing the videos? I would definitely say the actual filming takes the longest, purely because it doesn't always go to plan. Sometimes there'll be too much noise. Sometimes I'm purely just too tired from work, and halfway through I'll just be exhausted and I'll do it again the next day instead. Or there might be a technical fault, which quite often there is. Sometimes I decide I want to do something else, so I'll switch and do something the next day and change my mind. And sometimes, well, one time I actually knocked a candle over mid-film and I scorched my carpet. And I also got hot wax all over my arms, and I nearly costume from Fate's Stay Night, which I do plan on cosplaying soon. I also have Wise's costume from Ruby, if you know what Ruby is. And I have seen Sword Art Online. I would love to do a cosplay from that. So yes, I do like anime. I haven't watched it recently, and I haven't watched loads, but I do really like it. I really like One Punch Man. That's one of my favourite animes. And I like as well how unexpectedly gory they can be. Like, one used to do like a free-for-all on that, and I always liked using the throwing knife. I got quite good at it. So yeah, really young age. If you had unlimited time and an unlimited budget, what cosplay would you make? I love this question. I would make the full Master Chief armor because I've wanted to make that since I was a kid, so definitely would make that. I would make... let's see, I'd probably make Sylvanas Windrunner's costume, but I would make it so if I went in Banshee mode, smoke and everything would come out of my costume. Because you know when she goes in Banshee mode and there's like this black aura disperses from her, I would have like a mini smoke machine built into the armour somewhere, and I would make it come out when I went all Banshee like. Oh, there's so many I would make. Quite a lot of them are doable on probably a smallish budget, but if I was to make them accurate, I would definitely go all out. They're really random ones to pick, but quite a lot of costumes can be done on a relatively low budget, so thinking of a costume that's near enough impossible to make is quite hard, because if you've seen it in a movie, it's already made. I would love to have Tony Stark's Mark 7 armour. That would be cool. Really like that armour. I would also probably have the Iron Spider armour and retractable metal, like thingies. Whatever they're called. If you were to meet a fictional character in real life that inspires you, either from a movie or game or comic book, what would you say to him or her? I would like to think I wouldn't go completely geek and be like, oh my god, I'm your biggest fan, but I probably would. I would love to meet Ewan McGregor, and I would probably say General Kenobi, and then, you know, it'd probably be like, this is the millionth time someone said this to me. When is that going to die out? I would definitely say that. I would definitely go the nerd route and be like, General Kenobi. Not very exciting and not very meaningful, but you've just got to do it. What are your favourite Marvel and DC characters? My favourite Marvel character is Captain America. I'm referring to my Captain America ASMR video. But I also really like Spider-Man too. I think they go hand in hand, because I like them both the same. So, Captain America and Spider-Man. DC character, definitely Harley Quinn, because her outfits are outrageous and really, really fun. And Batman, it's gotta be Batman, because he's not got any powers, he's just really rich. But he's very intelligent though too. So Batman, Harley Quinn, Captain America and Spider-Man. Vastly different characters, but I love them. watched the newer ones. That's a really light watch, and it's really funny. There's loads, and I probably regret not saying some, but I'll move on. Games. The Halo games are some of my favourites. The Fallout games. I liked Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, the Batman trilogy games, the Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games, Alice Mander's Returns, one of my all-time favourite games, The Witcher, love that, the Assassin's Creed games, gosh, loads again. I've played so much. This is like years and years, because I've been gaming since I was a kid, so so many. But that's some of my favourites. The Spider-Man game on PS4, but I also had it on PlayStation as well. So the Spider-Man games were awesome. Would you ever consider becoming a professional cosplayer? No, because I think it would ruin the fun for me, and there'll be too much pressure, and I can't make things on a deadline because I will hate it. So, no, I like to keep my hobbies as hobbies, because there's no pressure then, and I get to fully enjoy it and do it when I enjoy it. So no. How much prep time does it take before you do a video? I think I've answered one similar. 2 days ish. Yeah, to do everything, about 2 days. And the next one. How has doing this YouTube channel changed your daily life? Has it had a big impact or not? Yes, most definitely. It's one of the best things I've ever done. So as I've said, been a cosplayer for a long time, about 9-10 years now, and it never really went anywhere. A few people saw my stuff, and that was good enough for me. But since doing YouTube, so many of you have seen it now, so it makes it more motivating and a lot more worth it to keep up with it, because it's a very expensive hobby. It's very expensive and it's very time consuming, but I do love it. And I actually do have a job. And so making these videos, they take a long time, so it's been amazing when I did it in lockdown, because it really was good for my mental health and a great creative outlet. And now I've got my job back after lockdown. It's so nice to escape to do the videos, and most importantly, costume sometimes as well, and it can be quite hard because if you spend 2 weeks making a costume and then you wear it and it's too small, it's the worst thing in my life to happen. It's so heartbreaking because it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to get the materials and make it, so if I do it wrong, one, I've wasted a lot of money, and two, I can't wear it. That one did fit. It did actually fit mostly, but I just didn't think it was good enough, so that was the most difficult. If you had one chance to travel back in time, which time period and location would you go to? I would go to... This is so good. There's so many possibilities. I would travel back to Elizabethan times and go and see Queen Elizabeth I, because she's a really interesting and cool person, and I really want to know about all her dresses that she wore. Like, her gowns are amazing. I'd probably go there, or I'd travel back to I'd travel back to the 80s and go and try and meet Wham. You know, the band Wham with George Michael. I really like Wham. But then I also like heavy metal and rock, so I do like a lot of different things, but I don't know. There's so many different time periods, places I go to. But it would be really cool to meet Elizabeth I. So, I'll finish on this one because it's quite a long answer. It's basically asking how I make my props and things. Where to start? So, the first thing I do is I Google what I'm going to make, and I look up as many angles of the thing that I can find. So I'll give an example. Say I want to make Stormbreaker, Thor's axe. How I would go about that is I would get loads and loads and loads of reference pictures, and then I would see what materials the actual prop is made from. So I would Google the movie prop and see what they made it from. Sometimes they're made from metal, and obviously I'm not a blacksmith. I would love to be, but I'm not. And so I would then work out what materials can I use that would look really good and as close to thing as possible. But also I have to keep in budget because, again, cosplay is very expensive. And so I would research what materials cost what, and then I would start to write a plan of how I would make it. So for Stormbreaker example, I would break it into sections. I would make the handle. I'll give you a what I've never made. The one I've got is an actual pre-bought prop, but this is how I would make it. I would get PVC pipe to strengthen the handle, and then I would get some foam. You also need a lot of tools. You need a lot of tools for this. So I'd get some foam, EVA foam, and I'd get it quite thick so I can shave the foam and shape it down. Because Stormbreaker is Groot's arm, so it looks like a tree branch. So I'd get the foam, measure, and then I would wrap it around the PVC pipe. And then I would get a scalpel and I would carve the shape and to make it look like a tree branch. Then I would make the axe part, and again, foam is good, but it's very lightweight and not very durable, so you'd need to give it a strong interior. There's different ways you could do it. Sometimes I'll use foam, sometimes I will actually saw wood. So to make the axe head, I'd probably get a sheet of wood, draw the shape of Stormbreaker and measure. I would saw it by hand. You can use it you can use a jigsaw to do it. And then I would layer that with foam. And then I would carve with a scalpel the details. Again, this is just off the top of my head. If I actually looked into this, I might do it differently. Also, there's more than one way to do anything, but there's definitely more than one way to make a prop. And then of course you want to think about priming it, because foam, the great thing is it can be shaped with a heat gun, but foam also expands when it gets hot, and foam has a lot of holes in it. You can't see on the surface, but it has a lot of tiny holes in it. So you want to seal that up, because if you try and paint that, it's just going to seep into the foam. So you need to layer it with a primer. 3 coats normally is what I do. And then you can paint it, so you can get chrome spray paint to make the metal. You could even add LEDs inside to make it glow. That's a whole other ball game, and I won't go into it. Then you want to use a sealant after you've painted it, so it doesn't chip or weather. And I would also suggest waterproofing it if you're taking it outside, because you don't want water getting in and making it all soggy. So you can get waterproof sealant. And that's, I would say it would take a few days to make that prop, depending on if you add all materials. See, another thing, I have to order all my materials, because where I live there's not a lot of material shops, so I have to wait a few days for each order to come in, which is really annoying. But that is sort of a quick process of how I make them. I would like to make a video on how I make a prop, and at some point I will. Another question is, do I have a job? Yes, I do have a job. I love my job very much. I'm very lucky. During lockdown, my job closed, but I work in heritage, so that's everything to do with history and attractions that the public can come and see. So museums, for example. I won't say exactly where I work. In my town, we have quite a few historical sites. I have worked at 4 total. I currently work at 2 right now. And it's fantastic, and the public are really, really great and fun to talk to. I love reeling off facts about history, and the great thing is I always learn something on the job. I learn something every shift, and the people I work with are absolutely amazing. They're some of the greatest people I've ever met, and they're so knowledgeable and so nice and so fun, and they make the job honestly a pure joy. I don't think they watch my videos, but if they do, hello. And it's so nice to get out in the world and talk to people and learn about other people's lives and things like that, because people tell you all sorts. Might not even be history related, but I love it so much. And I don't do YouTube as a job because it sadly is not sustainable for me. I need consistency, so that's why I